Hello, everybody. We are on season 3. Season 3. Can you believe it? We have moved on to season 3. I want to thank everybody for joining in. This is Dr. Briley. We have an amazing special guest from the Acres Home Chamber of Commerce. And I'm going to tell you why I invited them, because I am a born and raised Acres Home person, and Acres Home has changed so much throughout the years, but we're here to talk about, the development that's happening in Acres Home and just the Chamber of Commerce, how they're involved in the community and everything. So we have a special guest, but before we even get started, you know how we do. We always say something funny, something not even, it don't even have to be funny, something that happened in your day or something that happened in your week or month. So we're going to go into that, and let you introduce yourself. And I want to thank you for coming out today. Introduce yourself.
I am Sheba Roy. I am the executive director at the Acres Home Chamber for Business and Economic Development.
Yay.
And should I tell my story?
Yeah, please do.
Well, I recently locked myself inside of the chamber building.
Okay.
So anybody who knows where the building is on Wheatley, and we have everything with burglar bars and everything is super locked up. So recently I locked myself inside the building. So there was a big walk in the community a couple weeks ago, and we had the building open to partner with the church, a local church that was helping. And so I went back to close, and I was like, okay, well, we're going to go down there to the event. So I get inside, and I closed the front. And then I went to go pick up something. I said, okay, well, I'm going to go out the back door. Well, the back door was locked because I had locked it previously. So I ended up locking myself inside the building. And I was just looking through the burglar bars, just waiting for somebody to come open the door.
That's funny. So I have a story, too, about being locked out. And so that's funny that you say that. So my story is, so a lot of people know I'm a dog lover. I have 2 giant schnauzers that I just purchased, which is North and South, along with, I'm a dog lover, y'all, so I also have an American Bully that is retiring or something, I don't know. We then took her to go try to put her down, and then she come back to life when we try to put her down, and we've done that a couple of times, and she's still with us, bless her little soul. But my North and South, my new American Bullies, which are very huge. They're tall, like they look like ponies in the house. So I went outside. No, my son went outside first. Then I went outside, and the dogs are so smart. They wanted to come outside, but we left them in. They actually locked us out the house. They jumped, turned the handle of the door, turned the lock of the door, and locked us out. So my son had to jump the fence, come to the front, put in a code to let us back in the house. I've never had dogs that do that. Yeah, of course they were in trouble. They didn't get no treats. They didn't get nothing. I was so mad. I couldn't even believe it. And I was like looking at them through the window, and they were looking at me. And I'm gonna have to send a producer a picture so we can put that on this episode. But I was a little hot that they locked me out, but that's okay.
That is getting locked out is
getting locked out is kind of, you're like, oh my God, I'm locked out. Mm-hmm. So we've got 2 locked out stories.
Oh yeah, I've been locked out a lot of times. My children lock me out. At least once a month I get locked out of the house. So.
Right. I remember when my son was young, he locked me out the house. Mm-hmm. And I was washing clothes. I had food on the stove. I think he was like 4 or 5. Mm-hmm. And I actually had to call the firefighters to come unlock the door.
Yes, that happened.
Yeah, and you don't realize how kids can lock you out. And he was just giggling through the window. I'm like, unlock the door.
I'm like, turn the knob.
The key. Turn it. And I'm like going to the neighbor's house. And I wasn't looking appropriate either because I was cleaning. And I was like, I got to go to the neighbor's house looking like this. Like, oh my. Mm-hmm. So I think I had some little short song with a little tank top. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm ringing the doorbell. Can y'all call the firefighters?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's embarrassing.
And so you had no phone either?
I didn't have the phone. I didn't have nothing. So, yeah, that's pretty embarrassing. But you learn, those little episodes like that gives you like little widgets of life to enjoy life.
Exactly. Like I learned after locking myself inside the building to just slow down. Because I was moving very quickly trying to get back to the other location.
Right.
So I was like,
right.
just...
You have to slow down because that's what makes think, because you're moving so fast and your brain is like, okay, I got to do this, I got to do that, and then you end up locking yourself or getting locked out, pretty much. Well, I want to say thank you for coming. We really appreciate it. I'm a native to Acres Home. I'm excited to have you here. I want to talk about real estate. I want to talk about economic development, sustainability, all of the things that are going on in Acres Home, because we see it's changing
Oh, yeah.
fast.
Yes. Big changes.
Big changes fast. Developers are coming in. They're purchasing properties from older people, or people that had, like myself, that had parents. We haven't sold. So my mother and father said that they're going to come when they leave this earth. If I sell that property, they're going to come visit me. So I will, that Acres Home property that we have will stay in our family forever. But we have other family members that live in Acres Home that have property. And the same thing with them. They're going to keep it forever.
Yeah.
They don't care what an investor will, offer them, but they're going to keep it. So tell me more of how you got into being at the chambers. I used to be a Chamber of Commerce president for Spring Klein Chamber, but tell me more about you and what your involvement.
So actually, my background is in public relations.
Okay.
So I guess I ended up there because I guess a colleague of mine she was doing special events there a few years ago. And so I just ended up over there and sort of looking at the activities, and we were working on a project together, and I was like, we really need a re-image here, So then I started working as the community relations director.
Okay.
And after a while, of course, now I'm the executive director. So like I said, my background is in public relations, but I have a heart for community. So that's kind of how I ended up in the position because, it's important. I think that's a very integral part of Acres Home.
Right.
It's not new.
Right.
It's at least 26 years old or older,
Right,
30 years.
older.
Actually, this year for the banquet, it's 35 years.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, it's
When is the banquet?
It's in October.
Okay.
You should definitely come.
Yeah. So what date? Do a shout out. Do y'all know the date
It
yet?
should be October 23rd. It's always that weekend. So the Friday of October.
And y'all are
23rd.
selling tickets and everything.
We will be.
Okay.
Probably within the next couple of weeks or so.
Okay.
But we always have something going on. So next week we have a town hall, which is actually to discuss. We've been gentrified. Now what? Because a lot of the people in the community, like we had a FOFO day, which is like, to celebrate Acres Home and the history and the legacy of Acres Home, because we have a lot of these developers coming in and trying to change the name.
What?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I didn't know that. Okay.
Like literally one property over from our building is a development. And I'm not ashamed to say it's D.R. Horton.
Okay.
Well, I walked in and I was talking to
I
the
didn't
lady.
know D.R. Horton is there.
Yeah, they're right. It's like a couple of inches over. There's a new
How
development.
big is that community?
2 streets, of course.
Okay.
2-3 streets
Okay.
with probably, I don't know how many houses they'll end up building, but it's just like a little, they keep building
Right.
the same. And that's fine. But when I walked into the office, I was talking to the lady, and she said, well, we're kind of being instructed to say Independence Heights. Well, Independence Heights is 20 minutes away from there.
Yeah, that's completely different.
So, like find something else.
Right.
So that's kind of the issue, is that we want to make sure that, some people have to sell because of taxes.
Yeah.
They don't have a choice. They're either going to
They're
lose it.
rising.
Right. They'll either lose it or they're going to sell it.
Right.
But what we would like to see is some integrity from the developers.
Right.
Like, this is Acres Home.
Right.
Let it be Acres Home.
Right. Just like the Heights. Let it be
Right.
the Heights. Just like Northline. Let it be Northline. Just like whatever the entity of that, what it was, let it be.
Yeah.
And if you need help with that, because that's my roots. I don't play with my roots.
Yeah.
I'm very open with my roots. I graduated from Alding High School. I tell people, just because where I evolved to now, you don't forget where you come from.
Right.
Period. And that's just who I am. Some people do, but I don't. So yeah, if you need help with that, let me know.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, that's really what our goal is right now with
Right.
the chamber. We have a farmers market that we run every third Saturday.
I know that.
You gotta come.
Yes.
That market is such my baby, and it's important for it to continue. So now I'm expanding it with the first Saturday. I'm moving around the neighborhood.
Okay.
But we made a jingle for the farmers market.
Okay.
And basically the essence of it is to call people back home. You know, if you left, if your parents left or
Yeah.
grandparents left, we want you to come back because we need those people who actually care about the community to come and live
Born
in
and
some of those new developments, right? Because what we need is commercial development, but we can't get the proper commercial development until the homes are filled. And most people will not talk about this, but those houses are not really selling the way that they ought to be selling because there's nowhere to go shopping and nowhere to eat.
I was just gonna say it would be nice to see like an HEB could do it. It would not. It would be wonderful. We do know it's a Trader Joe's right there at Shepherd and
Joe V's.
45 Joe V's.
Trader Joe's.
I'm sorry, not Trader Joe's. Joe
They
V.
would
You're
never.
absolutely you are absolutely right. So they're there right at Victor. Yeah. So but it needs to be more.
I know.
It needs to be more. You're absolutely right. And people tend to come to stuff that have all of the elements around it. Now, what I am proud of to see is a lot of the junk food, fast food, unfortunately, leave. Because you want a sustainable community that has good, wholesome food. So I'm glad about the market center because a lot of people sell vegetables. Even the Acres Home Multi-Purpose Center has, I still keep in contact. So they have the vegetable garden.
Yeah, they have a garden over there.
And that's wonderful.
And then the health department also puts on a market at the multi-service center, I think like certain times of the year. So their market operates a little bit differently. And I know the person that operates it. So they take vouchers from mostly seniors is who comes through there. And then they just basically give them bags of produce.
Right.
We do also take SNAP at our market.
Okay.
So if people are using EBT, I know that there's some differences now in EBT usage than previously, but we do still take it. We're trying to do the things that need to be done because we look at it like Joe V's is fine. They do have produce there, but they don't have any of those other good items.
Right.
Like if I was and actually I have a story because when we had that event that I talked about many years ago at the chamber, my girlfriend was going to cook. So we're like, okay, let's go to the store. And I'm like, well, let's just go to Joe V's. It's right here.
Right.
Finding the vegan option and the healthier food items was almost impossible there.
Right.
So like, where you go to HEB and you see like this plethora of options for quinoa and all these other rice alternatives.
Right.
That's not taking place at Joe V's.
Right.
You might see one.
Right.
And people deserve more than that.
Right. Right.
They just do.
And my sister is vegan, so I absolutely understand because sometimes I'll say, hey, you want to go to lunch? You want to do this? And she's like, well, where are you? Because vegan options aren't everywhere. And a lot of people are vegan. And to be honest with you, I didn't realize this, but the further you go north, there's not a lot of vegan options. You have to either be in Midtown or, in these little places, subsidiary places around Houston other than the north side. And we have to do better with that in food options too, because the further north, and it's not just even economics or like places like maybe different elements of north side. Even when you go even further north, when you go to Sam Houston area, people not eating vegan. Like, what? And, they're eating ribs, baby back ribs. And, so we have to do better with food options because we have so many people from all over that, and I also talk about economics when we talk about real estate. Why is it that way? Or what makes it that, just different elements. What makes it that way for us,
Absolutely. What we would like to see is a nice coffee shop or like a bookstore. And actually, there's a building right next to Orlando, however you refer, right across from the multi-service center that is vacant. So if somebody felt like, hey, I think I could, put a concept right there, people would go to it.
Right.
I think the idea is that nobody in Acres Homes wants anything or would, go anywhere. But like everybody who lives there shops somewhere.
Right.
And most people go
or
to Family
they drive
Dollar.
farther to go get it. Yeah.
Right. If you're walking, you're probably going to Family Dollar. But if you're walking, that means that you will also walk to something else if it opens, right?
Right.
And so that's really what we're trying to instill in the people who are outside of Acres Home.
Okay.
You know, so like I said, my background is in public relations. So every now and again, I try to put out something that's like a positive story in the community.
Right.
So if you go on Google right now and you type in Acres Home, instead of seeing just this person got shot or this thing happened,
Right.
you'll see some positive stories too, because we're working really hard to try to bring
Right.
that balance in, because we want people to come in and invest in the
Right.
community.
Well, and I also say too, you know, at one point in life, um, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, Acres Home is just like, to me, like Pearland Spring or anything else, because I mean, just recently, unfortunately, in River Oaks, a family died.
Yeah, absolutely.
You see what I'm saying? So it's not single just because it's, you know, that area of Acres Home. Like, a family just died.
Absolutely.
You know, and that's the awareness that I try to tell people, is that you come in here, or if you're not even from here, and I try to educate you in real estate about where to live, I mean, that's happening
everywhere.
Anywhere
There are
over.
people, things can happen.
Yeah.
You know?
So it's about how people invest in their community, and what's going on in the community, and the dynamics of the community, and how people care about their community. And one thing I can say, the dynamics of Acres Home, even though people are selling, people really care about Acres Home.
Yeah.
Do they still do the Sylvester Turner event in Acres Home? Or
Yeah,
is
it
that
was on this. I think it's
recently,
the second
right?
weekend in April is when they've been doing it
Okay.
at the Sylvester Turner Park.
Yeah.
And I mean, it was raining that day this year.
I was just
but
gonna
I think
say.
people still did go.
Okay. Because it's a free event.
Yeah, it's free. And I have a story about that
Really?
last year, not this past year where it was raining, but I was like, okay, so I'm going to take a bunch of plants and I'm going to have everybody play this game and I'm going to give away plants and I'm going to talk about the market and everything else. And I set my table up. I put all the plants out there and I went to go change because it wasn't supposed to open for like 2 hours.
Did the
Well,
plants
girl,
just
like,
pick?
you know, I came back and the plants were all over the park. So I was having people go and say, hey, we need you to bring that back to the table. Because, I mean, it was like literally like 30 to 40 plants just
gone.
Yeah. So I'm like, you know, people are interested in planting and produce and stuff like that. So like if you look underneath what you see on the top layer, everything that you think about people will be changed.
Right. And that's what I always say, you know, you can't never judge a book by its cover. When you see people, people are people. And just like the plants disappeared, that means that they're into gardening.
Absolutely.
They want to know more, or they want to, look at this plant. I want to try to, you know, do this plant. And that's important. And I do think, and I'm big on gardening. I always tell people everybody should have like a small little garden at their home, like something to grow, just to cultivate the earth and to, you know, showcase your family that we grew something together as a family. Cabbage, whatever it is, eggplant, I grow it all at my house. Cabbage, eggplant, strawberries, all this stuff. But I think it's important too, because it shows a sense of organicness and that we want to try to eat better a little bit as a family.
Right. And you know, people always want to use incentives to appeal to that demographic.
Right.
Well, now you can use plants because they want those too. It's not just, oh, I got a gift card to go eat over here, or oh, I can do this. You can use plants.
Right.
You know.
Even too, it's good for the ecosystem and everything. So we have developers coming into Acres Home. So what does the actual real estate area, because I drove it, I go see my parents still have a home there, even though they live somewhere else, they still have a home there. What does like because I'm seeing like these stackables, I'm seeing
that's it.
I'm seeing all kinds of different
3 stories, 2 and 3 stories.
Kind of look like the Heights a little bit with the stackables. I don't really even know what to call them right now, because
I know somebody who calls them big dog houses.
Okay.
So
yeah, because they wedge themselves into like little small.
They're putting 3 houses where it used to be just 1. You know, because you know what the lots are sized like in Acres Home. So now once you buy it, you can put 3. Like I know somebody right now trying to sell 3 lots that could probably house at least 3. So it could probably turn to at least 6 homes.
Right.
But the problem is that individual has asked for a clause to be in the contract that says that they will not market it without using the words acres homes. And the last buyers walked away from the deal because they don't want to do it.
Right. It has to. We have to keep it's out of respect too.
Yeah.
You have to keep the name Acres Home. That's why I wanted you on the show too, because we have to. No matter what the area is, you have to keep the name. Like whatever the area is, and you come to develop the area. And I'm big on it, so y'all can make comments, do whatever you want to. Y'all know how I am. I'm big on different things, and because that is my area, I'm gonna stand strong on it, and that should be what it's called. Period.
Yeah, that's what it's
called. It shouldn't be. And I do know because at one point, so my family lived in Willow Run.
Okay.
And Willow Run got adopted to be Acres Home. Years later. I want to say almost 25 or some years later, but they held on. But they now say Willow Run is a part of Acres Home. What was Willow Run 1 and Willow Run 2, and now it's a part of Acres Home. I don't know if Hidden Valley, that's off of Veterans Memorial, is Acres Home as well. I'm not too sure, but yeah, that's
they kind of all sort of.
Because it's close by.
Yeah, I mean, it's like if you want to belong somewhere, that's the closest place to belong.
Okay.
You know?
Right.
So I kind of see people from all of those.
Okay. All of those little entities of it. But I know for a long time, Willow Run used to say, no, we're not a part of Acres Home. We're Willow Run 1, we're Willow Run 2. But as things shifted and changed and things kind of changed in the neighborhood, they began to say, no, we are Acres Home, and which is fine. But I do believe in keeping the dynamics of what it is and not changing the names of areas, because that's history.
Right. Like, it's not New Shepherd Heights.
Yeah.
It's Acres Home. And the thing is that, and that's why we're doing what we need to do to try to kind of, I don't want to say re-image, but like remind people of the good parts of Acres Home, because for so many years, for decades, it's just been like, oh, Acres Homes is the hood. Oh, Acres Homes is scary, you know. And so recently,
but it's got some luxury homes in there. It's got some $1 million homes.
I know.
In Acres Home. A lot of people don't know there's a lot of luxury and $1 million homes in Acres Home that's gated too. There was a street, and I can't remember the name of the street. It's like home, like big homes down each and every street.
I mean, there's a lot of hidden gems just in general in the community. And recently, one of my news contacts was like, well, we want to do a story on safety. And so I had to be honest with them. I said, well, I did some research with some of the community members, and nobody feels unsafe.
Right.
You know, when you see crime, it's happening between people who already know each other, just like what might happen in any other community.
Right.
So it's not strangers walking up to strangers, perpetuating crime. It's just, we got to change the way we see that.
But if we talk about crime in the subsidiaries or in Houston, I mean, we got Buffalo Bayou. We can't even, and I'm going to say it, I can say it, it's my show. We can't even find a killer in Buffalo Bayou.
I know, new body. Just
a new body the other day. So it is what it is, and that's not a crime. You see what I'm saying? That's not a crime area. So when people say that,
no one's being discouraged from going near the bayou.
They're still running.
Yeah.
And once they run, they find a body on the ground. They're like calling the police.
Totally unrelated.
Right. So it's I know my producer them laughing at me. But it's the truth. It's the truth. And sometimes people get in this stigma of different things, and that's not even how, that's not even the reality of it, because that can happen everywhere.
Exactly. And we're not saying don't come to Acres Home and build. We want activity. And somebody said recently that, communities like Acres Home do need gentrification on some level. That's fine.
Right.
But let's remain Acres Home.
Right.
Like, don't come in and say, well, we're going to change the name now.
Right. Because we invested X amount of dollars.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't, because you pump money into a community, you still have to be respectful of the people that are the original people. That's just like the Klein community. So Spring, Texas is a unincorporated area, okay? Recently, I just seen that the family of Klein, which gave the Klein school district to the state of Texas to make them ISDs, because Klein used to run its own school districts, but they gave it over to the state of Texas. But just recently, I've seen where they were putting up signs saying Klein, Texas. Like, this is Klein, Texas, and I don't know if they already have it, but maybe Acres Home needs to say this is Acre Home, Texas. Like,
so what we need is about $50,000 to buy signs for every entrance. We've already been looking at this because that sign that was over there by Joe V, somebody ran into it and knocked it over.
Oh no!
So sign's gone. So there is no Acres Home sign.
Okay.
So we're looking at how to put signs on each entrance.
Okay.
Just so it says, okay, well that might be New Shepherd Heights, but this right here is Acres Home.
Right.
Just in the medians or wherever.
Okay.
So we're looking at, like I said, we're having the town hall next week. So that will be something that we're going to talk about with the community.
So when you say that y'all are looking for signs and it to be, is that something that y'all are looking for somebody to donate to?
Could be. If somebody want to donate, they can. We just
in like a time frame, like, okay, we got a sign here, and then maybe we donate another sign here, and putting it on a
like
time
it doesn't
frame,
have to be everything right now.
Right.
It was just the quotes that I received back are about $10,000 for those nice brick signs, and that's
Okay.
what we want because that's what we had.
Okay.
Which we don't know who knocked it over. I wish that person would come forward and say, "Guys, I ran into the sign."
Right. Here's my insurance.
Yeah, because at least then we could say we know what happened to it. Because there's going to be speculation that it was knocked down intentionally.
Right.
Have
Have y'all thought about any other type of signs other than the brick? Like, have y'all thought about like the metal sign that stands on to say?
No, this is just initial conversation that we're having.
Well,
So-
offline, we want to talk. I want to talk.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah. Let's talk about like offline about that. I want to go to the meeting and see how can I be a part of that, because I'm big in like historical work. Like I am, because at the end of the day, how would, after 30 to 40 years, how would anybody know anything if nobody don't preserve
Right.
like now to the future to educate other people? To just be washed away like
Right.
nothing happened. And I was born and raised in Acres Home. I've had some horrible teachers. I've talked about that but that was during a time where segregation had just come about, and I have some stories of Acres, so pictures and stories of Acres Home. So but yeah, let's talk about that, because that I think that is something good too, because Klein did do that. Klein did put historical markers up to say, because the area is growing by leaps and bounds. So the families, the middle stats, the Hilda, I'm probably saying the name wrong, but
I said Hildebrand.
Yeah, all of those families say, wait a minute, it's growing so fast. We need to make sure everybody know this was Klein. This was Klein family that came here, migrated this land, and even though we sold this land, this is where it came from. This is where it came from, and this one little marker will be evident of that. You know?
I grew up in Tomball, actually.
And Tomball has markers to say Tomball, Texas. Welcome to so that historical stuff is, and that's Bruce Hildegard. And so he's a chamber. He been a Chamber of Commerce president for ever in a day, right? We had him on the show. So, but those kind of things are, and he's Mr. Tomball to Tomball, and those things have been embedded of this is history, and let's preserve it, and let's make sure that everybody knows that, whether you're from New York, Chicago, wherever you from, you know that.
Right. And
so what is the price point of like homes now, or roundabout?
At least 400.
Okay.
Usually they'll say from the low fours or
Okay.
from like the high,
So it is up there with everybody else.
Yeah. So, but that's the problem.
Okay.
If the homes are priced in the same as Pearland or Tomball or wherever Target is 5 minutes away, why would I come live right here? I don't care if it's just down the street from downtown.
Right.
I mean, that's great, but I need to go shopping too.
Right.
And so there are talks of an HEB coming at like the corner of like Ella.
That'll be great.
But we need a sign there that says coming soon.
Coming soon.
That would be helpful.
Right.
But yeah, so about that is
TJ Maxx, Marshalls, all of the same things that are in other
Yeah.
areas. But Pearland did have a long time of coming because it was so rural. It took them a long time
You
too.
had to build that up. It did.
It really,
Yeah.
really
And some of
did.
that is still very
It's
country looking.
it is. It really is. I actually just sold in almost it was a couple of minutes, less than 15 minutes from Galveston, because the further you go, when you're in Pearland and you keep going, you go to Angleton, Texas. Past Angleton, Texas, you'll start getting to Surfside. The other side of Galveston.
Yeah.
And I had a lake house there, and I just recently sold it. So you're absolutely right. Brazoria County is still very, very rural because they're named County Road
Yeah.
23,
Yeah,
County
exactly.
Road 40, and stuff of that nature. So, that's why I do the show, because there's so many pockets of Houston and outside of Houston and just little cubby holes that people don't realize that it's still, it's country, but then we still need growth of people wanting to shop, eat,
Exactly. Like that's really my point. So I don't know if you're familiar with right next to our building is the Melanson property. Roy Melanson owns like I guess it's like 5.6 acres.
Okay.
And he was talking about selling it. I guess like up to last year. And so
Okay.
if somebody does buy it, we would love to see commercial development there rather than more of the same residential.
Correct.
Because there's really enough of that right
It's
now.
enough for resident. It's enough apartments.
Yeah.
It's enough apartments. It's enough for residential. Can we
Yeah.
bring some other stuff?
We need to do something different.
Right.
And so that's what we're really hoping for. So if somebody does decide to buy that, is enough space for at least one good anchor and a couple
Right.
of smaller store or commercial spaces. Because, of course, I've talked to some different commercial developers about this because this is
Right.
just what we really need.
Right.
The community as a whole will not be successful if we do not get some of that commercial development in there.
Right, and people don't realize how much commercial, because like you said, eventually people still got to go buy clothes, people still got to go shop. Everybody is not using online to deliver it to their house. Still, people want to go to a brick and mortar, and so you still want that stuff in your community close by. Just like we were talking earlier about Magnolia and Audubon, and how they even got a little club in there. What is called Two Step. They got a little area for like they got a farmer's market. They got like a little two-step place. They can have community wine tasting. They're gonna have a neighborhood HEB in there.
Yeah.
So it has a lot of different things and a lot of different elements that make it what it is.
Right, right. And just right near there is like they've built this Texas Roadhouse restaurant. It's down, look like it's just by itself.
Right.
But it's there,
Right.
And I think that's where we need to like really think outside the box and say, well, how can we make sure that this happens? And I think it's just going to take somebody who is willing to take that risk as a developer.
Right.
And say, well, okay, well, maybe, I don't see the residents living in this development or that one, but they'll come if I'm here.
Right.
Like Field of Dreams. If you build it,
They
will
will
come.
come.
So
Right.
come on with the come on.
Right. No, I see that. And then, like you said, even the homes being in the 400,000 plus, I mean, that's, almost a $500,000 home.
For no brick.
Right. Well, that's the new thing. That's the new thing. We don't do brick.
Okay.
We just do siding.
Yeah.
So at one point, and that's funny how like in real estate things change, because at one point, like my parents' home there is brick all the way around from the top to the bottom. And so now new builders, you good to get brick on the front, maybe on the side,
On the first floor.
Yeah, right on
Just
the
right
front.
at the first floor. But there is a builder who does brick homes, but those are the affordable housing.
Oh,
So
really?
yeah, Mayberry. So they were like basically partnered with I think it's the land bank maybe.
Okay.
But you can only live in those homes under a certain income bracket.
Okay.
So
What's the unit like size of that development? Is it
no, it's like
big?
standard first floor,
Okay.
like an old school house that you would see being built on
Really?
a lot. Like it maybe
Okay.
like 3 to 4 bedrooms, brick side, just like what you're probably talking about that you purchased.
Right.
Like something like that in one of
Okay.
those.
Wow. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I just know that developmental wise, taxes are not a joke in Houston and the subsidiaries. We all know that. I know that it's went all the way up to Austin, to talk about taxes.
Mm-hmm.
And we all know that sometimes when developments come in, they kind of squeeze older people out
Oh,
almost, because even though they fill out all of the paperwork for different things to get the tax reductions, sometimes with what they make or Social Security or whatever they get,
Mm-hmm.
and their other money that comes in is just not enough.
What I wish I knew at the start. Trusting BlueScorpion Property Preservation Management Group with our commercial landscaping was the best decision ever. BlueScorpion Property Preservation Management Group has been transforming commercial spaces into green paradises. Our clients can't stop raving about us. Just listen to what they have to say.
First client review. Our property has never looked this good. 5 stars all the way.
Second client review. Professional, reliable, and simply the best in the business. 5-star service.
From lush green lawns to vibrant floral displays, we've got it all covered. Our dedicated team ensures your property not only looks great but stands out.
Third client review. Their attention to detail is incredible. Our landscaping has never been in better hands. 5 stars.
Whether you're a business or an individual, BlueScorpion Property Preservation Management Group brings expertise, reliability, and a touch of magic to every project. Ready to transform your property? Join the 5-star club! Because at BlueScorpion Property Preservation Management Group, we believe every property deserves to shine. BlueScorpion Property Preservation Management Group, where properties thrive.
Right.
Especially if they're ill or sick and have other elements that they have to pay for.
Right.
So it kind of squeezes, and it just almost resets the clock each and every time. We've seen it with Northline. We've seen it with Greens. Like, it just keeps resetting the clock, even to the point where in portions of Tomball, since that's where you come from, was born and raised. There's even a reset of that because the older population is dying off, and maybe the kids of that generation has moved to somewhere else.
Yeah.
And that's just what it is, and it happens so often.
Yeah, I think that's kind of just like the nature of it. Because actually, I'm from Cashmere Gardens.
Okay.
So my dad had a house built in Tomball versus a house built in Cashmere Garden.
Right.
So now that property just sat there.
Right.
Which I would ideally maybe put not a farm, but like a garden or something.
Something on there.
Something. But that's kind of the same idea. Instead of staying there, he went and built a house somewhere else.
Right.
So that's the same idea. It's just kind of like, if the property says you can't keep it, then you lose it, or you do sell it off. But the good thing about Tomball is that people still want to live in Tomball.
Yeah.
And I hate to say it, but I think some of those developers who have built all of those homes in Acres Homes, some of them are going to be sitting on them for a while.
Yeah. And that's what I had seen when I went to the famous Burns Barbecue to go get something, and then I, saw it, and I was like, man, last year I thought that house was, that structure was still for sale. I'm like, what's going on? So I see different, and then I also see builders coming in that maybe was like a first-time builder. Like, I don't even see I'm like, I never heard of that builder. Like, who is that builder? And then I go back because, I'm real estate everything. I go back and I Google, and I'm like, oh, they just started, building homes. And they building homes either in Acres Home,
Sunnyside.
Yeah, Third Ward. And it's actually the same structure where I said, they putting them, wedging them in little small areas.
They're going to try to put 300.
Yeah.
Anytime they open up, and they're like, let's see if we can get 300 houses in here.
Right.
And it's like, they're just like I said, like there's like 3 streets, most of them. They're building. That's the crazy thing, is they really putting neighborhoods inside of neighborhoods. But instead of saying such and such in Acres Home, which would be even more appropriate, like they just want to wipe away the Acres Homes of it all. And it's like, literally directly behind this.
Well, I'm so glad to have you on the show, because we cannot wipe that away, because I am, like I said, I'm a big contributor and fan, and I just know that is knowing what I know and what I've seen and been through. You just can't wipe away the name. Like, you just can't. You you got to keep heritage alive when it comes to that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You got to. So do y'all have a developmental district? What is all in the chamber right now?
So right now the chamber is just a network of small business owners.
Okay.
We are working to create something to help on the development side.
Okay.
That's what the town hall is for. It's
Okay.
kind of a start for us to help the citizens to sort of maybe keep their property or to sell it in a way that lets them maintain their integrity.
Okay.
And so it's just a big old network.
Okay.
You know.
Okay. And when is this meeting coming up?
It's May 13th.
May 13th. And where will it be housed?
It'll be at the chamber building. So that's
Okay.
6112 Wheatley.
Okay.
77091.
At what time will the meeting be?
6:30 p.m.
6:30. Okay, that's a great time for people to come out, even after work, to be able to. I'll try to come if I have that. I have to look at my calendar.
I'm going to live stream it.
Yeah.
Or I'll
Oh,
record it
that'll
at
be
least.
great. That'll be great. That'll be great. So what else can you tell us about the area? Any new interesting fun facts? Anything? Because I know that there were some, and there's been a lot of people that have passed on. I know the art center had closed at one time. Is it completely closed? There was a young lady that did art. I can't even remember where it was located, but she had a museum or art area of and I remember reading it in the paper that after 20-something years that they were closing their doors or something like that.
Is it the collectibles?
Yeah.
That's right across the parking lot from us.
Really? Okay. Have they closed or what?
They're still there. They come in on Saturdays. They still pop in, but I think they did close.
Okay.
I think they did.
Okay. It was there for a long, long time.
Yeah. So we still do have the African American newspaper, which is also housed out of there. And there's going to be a new Carver High School.
Oh,
So that's
okay.
new. They broke ground on it, I guess it was last month.
Okay.
The Bethune Empowerment Center should potentially be opening up within the next few months, I will hope.
Okay.
It's been a lot around that because it was basically a project of Sylvester Turner.
Mm-hmm.
And so with him passing away in the middle of the project, some hold up on successfully completing it. But I think they should get it done.
Yeah. It's usually always like that when somebody passes away and they have all these other things in the pipeline, and then it just kind of gets like, you know, because now you got to find a new person that's going to lead the march. Like, you have to find it. He's like, okay, is it you? Okay,
Right.
is it you? Like, who's going to be that new person to lead the march and watch it all the way through to make sure it's done right?
Right. I mean, and there are a lot of little small things that are going on too. And when I say small, not to diminish them, just that
Right.
they are happening in smaller networks. Like the Acres Super Neighborhood Council, they have a fitness class that goes
that's
on.
nice.
There are some gardening classes. There's a lot of school gardens going in.
Okay.
And of course, our farmers market, which is growing and thriving. And then also recently, District B, which is Tarsha Jackson. She's our council person. She implemented an economic development academy.
Oh.
So that's just started. I'm interested to see how that plays out and see what kind of comes out of that development. So there's a lot of people sort of doing things
Right.
in Exxon, but you may not always hear about it. That's why it's important for me as a PR person to try to use my skills
Right.
to push what's good about the
Right.
community.
What's going on? What's good? Educational purposes. I'm glad to have you on the show to actually talk more about, spreading the word. It goes out to everybody. Of course, we know how social media is. It goes out to everybody. They're able to see different things, and that's the purpose of the show, just to understand real estate, to see where we are, and to promote the areas, because every area has something good. Like every area has something good to, dynamics with it.
Yeah.
So as we get ready to kind of wrap it up, I want to thank you again for coming. Is there any key thing you want us to leave away with that you want to share? And then, of course, we want the information of the Acres Home Chamber of Commerce, of course. But any key element that you want to let us know about before you walk away today?
Well, this is just the one thing that I say all the time is that there are people in Acres Homes. There's money in Acres Home, and there are shoppers in Acres Home.
Lots of money.
So bring us the commercial development, because people will buy.
Right.
And that's That's my word on that. So if you want to stay connected with the Acres Home Chamber, you can always go to acreshomechamber.com, and then follow us on social media at Acres Home Chamber or Acres Home Chamber for Business on Facebook.
Okay. And the next event that y'all have coming up is
We do have the town hall on May 13th, and then we have our third Saturday farmers market on May the 16th from 10 to 3, also at the Chamber Building, 6112 Wheatley.
Okay. And is there a phone number that can reach at the chamber, or?
You probably just
Or
want to send an
email.
info at
Okay.
acreshomechamber.com.
Okay. You look, I am.
You know the phone number, don't worry.
Yeah. and I have people laughing all the time. I'm so old school. I'm like, I want a live person.
Oh.
but that's, I mean, we're in a world that everybody needs to be able to multitask. In order to multitask, you have to have the flexibility of having something else funnel your stuff that comes through.
Automation is
key. I'm just so old school, but automation is key. And I want to thank you again for coming out. And I want to tell all the guests and listeners, thank you so much. We appreciate y'all. We are at 300 and almost 50,000 views, K views, which is amazing. And y'all are watching it all over the world. I look at the stats all the time. So it's crazy to see stats from just, Brazil, all over the world. So I want to say thank you for watching. Thank you for being a part of it. If you want to move to Texas, if you want to move to the Houston or the subsidiary area, come on. But, be respectful of the area. That's all I got to say. Come on. But be respectful of each area, because we have powerful people and wonderful people that have been in the trenches working each area. We're going to have, some more amazing people on here talking about their areas. We've had so many Chamber of Commerce presidents and so many developmental districts on here. We've had mayors on here and everything. So thank you so much for your time. And like I always say, stay healthy, wealthy, and wise, and I will do the same. Bye.